close up. And Pietro has moved in, I guess, as a weird uncle. It's very interesting throughout this episode. He keeps scaring Wanda for no reason, and he's kind of egging her on towards the end. Yeah, something definitely happened to his character. Because this isn't the same character from the X-Men movies, or from the MCU, so let's see. In this episode, everyone has on their comic costumes, except for Speed, because, you know, Speed wears like the green version of Quicksilver's costume, but here he just wears Quicksilver's costume. I guess that's alright. Yeah, Quicksilver even has this really weird hairdo from the comics. And I think it's a nice reference that they, you know, give these characters their classic costumes. My favorite one is Vision's, because you literally like taped a diamond to his forehead.
Got something for you.
So yeah, the Vision has to go out on patrol duty for the neighborhood watch that he joined in episode 2. And so Pietro, you know, decides to take over for being the father figure. And things start off not great. It was Pietro and I think Tommy, I'm not really sure. They all go and steal all the candy in the neighborhood, which is a really funny scene. They're both using their speed powers. It's really interesting that the twins are developing their comic book powers now. And Herb actually asks if Wanda wants to change everything. So yeah, like in episode 3, he knows what's going on. And Wanda says no, she can take care of it. Because turns out Vision isn't really on patrol. He went to go investigate because he still knows something's weird, and finds a bunch of frozen people. Meanwhile, the real heroes of the show, our team at Sword, are reprimanded and kicked out by Hayward, who I'm pretty sure is gonna be one of the villains of this series, because he wants to kill Wanda for some reason. And he was experimenting on Vision, which, yeah, isn't cool. But they explicitly said that in his will, he didn't want to be used as a weapon. So, like, yeah, that kind of...
Someone caught the underground hijacking a billboard.
to fix. And, yeah, that's kind of just going against his wishes, and that's not cool. So, yeah, our heroes get ejected, but then they just beat up the guards, so that's just fine. And, Monica and Jimmy want to go see the engineer, so I guess we'll figure out who that is next episode. I don't know who it could be. You'll think it's Reed Richards. I don't believe they'd introduce him that casually. I think he was just some engineer. Plus, he's not even an engineer, so, you know.
You sure you're getting more press with these billboards, or just more of me?
And, Yeah, we really don't know who he plays P, but Dr. Lewis wants to stay behind, and so she does. So it turns out that Hayward has files on all of them, which is kind of weird. And he can track Vision's decaying vibranium, which, like, does vibranium decay now? Because I'm pretty sure the stuff in Wakanda is, like, thousands of years old, so I don't know if it decays that fast. Maybe it's because it was mixed with a bunch of other metals, I don't know. But, yeah, and then we get this super creepy commercial where a kid, you know, dies because he couldn't get the snack open, which I feel like is not a great way to market your
Maybe the
food.
underground should try handing out pamphlets next time.
Because, you know, implying that you'll die because it's too hard to open isn't that great. It's the snack for survivors, which makes sense, as it's also diving into Wanda's past, because she and Pietro, you know, survived the Stark bombing, and they were trapped under rubble. So, yeah, like the other commercials, just diving into her headspace a little bit.
Roxxon's attacking the underground. Better get there before it escalates.
And then we cut back. Wanda and Pietro are talking. She knows that he looks different. He knows that he's different, but he still has the memories of MCU Pietro, which is weird for loads of reasons. But, whatever. I guess she just cast Pietro, and you know, just gave him the memories of MCU Pietro, and he notices that his accent is gone. Which is weird that he's asking Wanda, but you know, he wouldn't know that her accent left too, because it's been gone since about Infinity War, I'd say. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of strange. But it reappears when she, you know, left the Hex last episode. Which leads to my theory that, I don't know, someone else is at play, because there's no reason that it should be back, considering she's lost it for a while now. I don't know, maybe someone else is controlling her with like an alternate personality. We'll see. But, turns out he knows what's going on, kind of, and he's not horrified, he's impressed, which is super weird, considering that both of the Pietros were good guys. I mean, sure, MC1 was on the side of evil, just like comic books for a while, but then he turned out so good, so, you know, but, and she doesn't know how she did it, which, you know, contributes to my theory that someone else is working behind the scenes, because, you know, she doesn't even know how she did it, or how she resurrected Vision. And then he knows Vision died, even though that happened way after his death, because he says, "Don't worry, Wanda, your dead husband can't die twice," even though, you know, he did dead twice in Infinity War. That was part of the plot. Whatever, I guess he doesn't know that.
That's everybody. Bystanders are safe. Time to head out.
And, I don't know, it's just really off in this episode. He scared Wanda for no reason. And it's just kind of creepy how he's egging her on. And so, eventually, Vision... Well, Quicksilver is saying this because Vision broke outside of the Hex, and he's trying to escape, but he's like disintegrating outside, which is really interesting because he's dead out there, so I guess that's happening to him again. But he didn't disintegrate, so like in Infinity War, he didn't disintegrate, so that's kind of weird. Darcy Lewis, yeah, she's like, you gotta help him, and she ends up getting handcuffed to a truck, and then everybody has to escape, but because Wanda is expanding the hex. How'd she find out? Because Billy is using his telekinetic powers that he has as Wiccan in the comics. So that's neat. And does he know this isn't real? He knows, well, I guess all he knows is that his dad's in pain, but like, does he know that it's all inside this hex? Some interesting things to think about there. And yeah, she expands the hex majorly. A bunch of sword agents get turned into like clowns and mimes, because you know this episode takes place during Halloween. And then Darcy Lewis just disappears, which is kind of weird. And she may reappear later as something. I don't know. I hope she does, because I don't want her to just be dead now. Like, she's a really fun character. In these past few episodes, it's kind of sad that that the team has lost her. She was really useful, and she almost figured out what Hayward was doing in all of this, but of course it didn't happen. Yeah, Hayward barely manages to escape, which may be kind of sad, but I wish he gets that from me. But whatever, I guess. And maybe he'll get his comeuppance later. But Monica and Jimmy managed to make it out okay. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. So I guess next episode we'll find out who the engineer is. And I mean, it's just some crazy stuff Wanda pulled off in this episode. I mean, she managed to expand the hex like several, I mean, like I think a mile out, maybe more, probably more than a mile out. It's just crazy. And yeah, also Vision awakens Agnes, which is the scene we've been seeing in all the trailers. I'm glad we finally got to see that. Apparently she is a real person, although maybe she isn't, because yeah, she says the normal things that the other guy was saying when Vision awakened him last episode, about them all being trapped. But then she started laughing maniacally, saying there's no hope. So I don't know. I think she could still be a part of what's going on. She seemed really weird. Also, while everybody else was frozen, she was still able to talk. I mean, and sure, she was stuck on one thing, being, having taken a wrong turn in the road. But, like, all the other people seemed kind of like they were frozen because of Wanda. Maybe because they were on the edge of the hex. But, like, yeah, Agnes got lost in the place she lived in. It's kind of weird. I feel like maybe she was just trying to distract Vision, so he wouldn't go outside of the hex, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Anyways, another really interesting episode. And yeah, Pietro's being pretty weird. And Hayward's pretty evil. I guess we'll, see the reason for this all in episode 7. See you guys next time, and stay safe, peace out.